People say that everything happens for a reason, but you already know that I don't really necessarily believe in that, because that would mean that there's nothing really you can do to decide on your life, because, well, someone else already made the choice for you. And I think it also means that you, in a certain way, deserve all the bad things that happen to you. You know, like you were born and then, well, they were just meant to happen to you, even if you did nothing. And I don't really like that. So today, let's just talk about it. Let's talk about the future and how much influence you can have on it. Hi, I'm Paula, the girl that sits here every week to talk about things that happen to all of us, but that we don't really talk about enough. And the whole purpose of this is just to create a space to just talk about things that we just keep in our heads, and then we don't really express because we don't know with who. But the truth is that I know these are things that everybody thinks about. There's just no way you and me are the only people thinking about this. So today we're just going to talk about not life-altering events, because those don't really happen that often, but just small, subtle things that you can actually do in your life to start having an influence on it, and for you to start realizing how much you can actually own your life once you're just aware of it. I've been reflecting on this a lot because a lot of life-changing moments are coming towards me. I'm really close to graduation. I need to take a lot of decisions, and honestly, I'm gonna be honest. That makes me anxious. It brings me so much anxiety. The thought that my future, it's in my hands. And I think it's because, first, we live in a society that makes us think that if we fail once, then our life is over, and that we are not allowed to make mistakes. And also that we have a tendency to see the future as just a single moment. So we don't see the future as a timeline, but just like one particular thing that we're looking forward to. So if I make the wrong decision now, I'm going to screw that one thing that I want to get. And the truth is that, well, it's not really like that. Or else, probably our present would be really fucked up because of some decision we made in the past. And I've been struggling a lot with the idea that your future is on your hands, because I just feel like, what if I make the wrong decision? What if I make the wrong choice? And then my life, it's fucked up and it's all my fault. And I think in moments like this, it's easier to think everything happens for a reason, or if it's meant to happen, it will. But honestly, I think that we forget the other part when we say your future is in your hands, and that is that you can actually always make decisions. Making decisions for your future, it's not just something you do right now, and then whatever you decide, then, well, that's it. At every point in your life, you can change your mind, or make new decisions, or just have new choices, or completely change your life trajectory. And I think that helps a lot with the whole future anxiety. Because, I mean, if you think about it, almost every single choice we make affects our future, and it's impossible that it doesn't, because, well, time, it's linear and it moves forward. So everything we're doing now will inevitably take us to the future. And that's exactly why I think people need to be aware of how much agency they can actually have in their lives. Because I think we usually live life in a very NPC-like way. We're just told, oh, you should graduate from high school and then go to university and then get a master's degree and get a job and live like this for the rest of your life. And then we sort of live in autopilot without realizing that we can actually choose, obviously, well, with the things that are within our reach. And I think this whole video is just to tell you to go for it, to own your life, and to actually decide on the things that make you feel okay. I think that sometimes we let fear decide for us, either fear or just we go for whatever the safest option is, or the option people tell us is what we should be doing instead of what we really want, because we think if it's the safest choice or if it's what other people tells us we should do, then that's what's going to grant us a good future. But I mean, you can have a normal life and study a safe career and then go and get a job if you want to, but just because that's the path people tell you should follow, you can ask yourself, is that really what I want to do for myself and for my life? I think making important decisions, it's scary because we think, well, we're gonna ruin our lives. But just remember that whatever you decide right now, you can always change in the future. If it doesn't work, you can choose something else or choose to try again. If it works, then you can go for it. And if then you realize you don't like it, then you can choose something else. Life, it's not a video game in which you just unlock new levels after you do certain things. In life, you can start any project you want at any moment in your life. So you don't have to follow a specific path if it's not what you truly want. Like, I know it may sound obvious, but I think we actually don't take enough time to realize that our life, it's ours, and we can actually make decisions and that we have choices, and that at any point in life we can just go for what we actually want and not for what we are told we should get. And think about it, it doesn't even have to be something huge. It can be just sending an email to, I don't know, a company that has your dream position. It can be changing the workouts you do because you don't really enjoy what you're doing. I think we are so afraid of owning our lives because we live in a system that it's built on fear. So we are shown since we are very little what happens if you're a failure, and we are told that if you don't follow this specific path, then, well, you're gonna be miserable. So our response is to just do what feels safe so we don't fail in life. And even if that's the path you feel the most comfortable in, there are still so many little things you can do right now to start improving your present and your future. You don't have to live in autopilot. And if you think about it, wouldn't it be more of a failure to end up living a life that you actually don't enjoy? Because I know we live in a society and we're constantly told that being successful, it's important, but what does success really mean? Because just think about it, once you're 80 and you start feeling like death is close and you look back in your life, are you going to think it was worth it and that you were successful if all you see are the choices that you're making now? Like, are you right now making the choices that are leading you to a life that you feel like it's worth living and that you perceive as successful? Because successful isn't necessarily what people tell us it is. I mean, obviously we have to be told that that's what success means, or else nobody would want to get a job and work. But just because people tell you that's what you should be doing doesn't mean that's what's actually going to make you feel fulfilled. And the thing is, so many of the decisions you can make right now and you're stopping yourself from because of fear actually don't have much of a negative consequence to them. For example, just sending an email to a company because you're really interested in one of their positions but you are not qualified enough. I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? The worst thing is that they tell you no, and that's it. Your life continues And then after that, you can either decide to apply for another job or to maybe get more qualifications, or you can realize that maybe you want something else. And I think another of the reasons why we let fear have so much power on us, it's because we perceive our present selves and our future selves as two completely different people. So we see the present as who we are and the future as who we want to be, but then we don't see what's here in between. And that's when it gets full of fear, because since you don't know what you have to do here in order to get there, you're just scared because you don't know what you have to do in order to become that person. But the truth is, present you and future you are the exact same person, and present and future don't necessarily have to be different things. Naturally, there are things you can do right now that you will see a consequence later on, but just because some of your choices don't have an immediate consequence doesn't mean that you cannot be the person you want to be yet. And I think my biggest advice for you is start acting like the way you perceive your future self. You don't have to wait until that particular something happens for you to start making what you want out of your life. So for example, if you in your future you want to be healthier, well, then you can start being healthier, you can start eating better, you can start working out. It doesn't have to be something you do eventually, because your life is happening right now and you can be that person right now. If in your future you want, let's say, to travel a lot, well, then you can start by choosing things that will eventually give you that freedom. If future you wants to travel, it's because present you wants to travel as well. So you can start doing things that align with that and that will take you there. And you can slowly start making that future your present. And I think acting in a way that actually feels true to you and that feels fulfilling to you, and knowing that you're acting towards what you want, also makes making decisions so much easier, because then all you have to think is this decision going to take me where I want to be? I just want to end the video by saying, you got this. You don't have to solve everything right now. The whole point of this is just for you to realize that you have agency and you can make your own choices. You don't have to follow a pre-designed path just because that's what people tell. If there's something you want in the future, or if there's a future version of you that you want to achieve, you can start by choosing it right now. You actually don't have to wait for anything. You can choose to make your life whatever you want it to be, because it's yours. There's nobody else that's going to leave it for you. So just take this as a sign to realize that you can actually choose whatever you want. You are not forced to follow a specific path if that's not what you want. You are not an NPC. This is your life. Choose to live it in a way that feels fulfilling for you. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for being here, and I wish you the best. See you next week.